the biggest stage in hockey in the loudest arena in hockey as Game 3 of the Stanley Cup Final shifts to Edmonton, Alberta, our neck of the woods. This city is alive right now. It is crawling with important media members, borderline celebrities, former Oilers, former athletes, all over the place. Our Lady Peace is playing a concert down the road. Volume check.
Oh,
Nope,
yeah.
can in fact not hear them. Nope. We just experienced what might have been a flyover right now.
That was insane.
We're down here at Greta, of course, as you know, our spot all playoffs long, but we got the patio doors open, and right before we went live, that sounded like fighter jets coming through here right now. We're pulling out all the stops, Brett.
Yeah, I had a Vietnam flashback right there. It looked crazy. And only my Vietnam experience is Call of Duty. So
Plenty of experience.
it was fantastic. But no, it is unbelievable out here. We drove past Rogers Place on our way here tonight.
We drove at like 3 o'clock,
Yeah.
and you would think it was 5 minutes before the game.
It was
downtown.
incredible downtown. We were honking our horn. Fans were cheering.
Playing Nickelback, all windows down, sunroof going, blasting that shit.
Saving me going. It was you and I had a smile on our face the entire time. It's unbelievable here.
This is what dreams are made of, people. We're living the dream. Hello and welcome to Pre-Gaming with BORDZY, brought to you by Sherwood Ford, the Giant. Subscribe to the ON YouTube. Drop down your like. Get in the chat. I'm your host, Aaron Bordato, joined by Brett Holden. It's the Brett and BORDZY show tonight, downtown, all night long here at Greta. And we are joined as well, and he finally has a headset, Patrick Puff. How you doing behind the scenes?
Good. Isn't this neat?
Dude, I'm loving this. I can see you. I can
Yeah.
talk to you. And it's going to be a rowdy one as people. We're not necessarily doing our Oilers Nation Greta watch party events every single night at Greta, but this face will be here every single night until it stops. And tonight, Brett, holy moly, do we got some stuff going down at Greta. We are here. I said the vibe in the city is electric right now. The vibe inside Greta is about to be unreal, because if you've ever been on Twitter, if you've ever been online before, Heat Daddy, Danny Heatley, 1507, fucking all-star, is going to be hosting the watch party down here in Greta tonight, where, hey, he's got big shoes to fill. Yours truly. I am very excited to get a couple beers with those boys to hockey night in Scottsdale. Boys, Nick Schmaltz going to be down here. A couple other names have been referenced. I don't know if we're allowed to mention them, so people, just trust me. If you like former Oilers, if you like former NHLers, come on down to Greta. Brett, it's going to be an incredible night down here tonight.
Yeah, if you like a
Friday Junior.
If you like a Stone Cold Steve Austin comeback type of thing, I think you might like it tonight. It is going to be absolutely insane in Greta tonight. It is going to be insane in this city. This is what we've waited 18 years for.
This is what you built the Ice District for.
100%. Oh, it couldn't have happened at a better time. You have everybody. I mean, this whole time you've been talking, I've been watching the traffic just going towards Rogers Place. This is going to be insane tonight. It has been 18 years in the making. God damn it, that Stanley Cup run is old enough to drink, and I'm sure it'd come right here to Greta tonight.
It's been 18 years. It's an unreal vibe. We had Jason Demers live and in the flesh at Rogers Place earlier today. DJ Bean was live and in the flesh. I got to meet him in person. I spent the entire morning with DJ Bean, and let me just say, that man is an oil man through and through. If you cut him open, he would bleed orange and blue. He was a huge beauty. And of course, we know the Chicklets boys are in town as well. I know Tyler mentioned he saw them earlier today down at Rogers Place. So buckle up, people. I think downtown Edmonton, and Greta specifically, is where you're going to be. But let's get into some of our coverage of the final, and it's presented by Fountain Tire, because Fountain Tire ensures that 100% of their vehicles owned have properly aligned wheels. Wheel alignments, well, they extend the life of your tire, which lowers the carbon footprint of your vehicle, reduces emissions, and lowers your fuel consumption. You can read more about Fountain Tire's ESG initiatives at FountainTire.com. So you mentioned it, the vibes here, it's light, it's positive for being down 0-2 in the Stanley Cup Finals. I think 18 years has a bit to do with that. I also think this beautiful sunshine and the birds chirping, there's not a single cloud out in the sky right now. But the boys are facing an uphill battle of sorts, down 0-2, but you're coming back to home ice tonight to that Rogers Place faithful crowd. You know they're going to be rolling vibes on Monday, Brett. You did After Dark with me. Vibes were a little low. We did our best to stay positive. I thought we did. But as I rewatched part of the show, I went, yeah, you can't really lie on your face right there. You look pretty disappointed. I want to ask you, because it is a new day. It's not a series until someone loses at home. What's your vibe check right now? Give me a vibe check.
Vibe check is very strong tonight. We saw a couple of pregame photos that gets me really excited to get this going. You have Florida coming in late yesterday when they should have left the day before. The city is absolutely buzzing. The Oilers are back on home ice. Last time they were on home ice, they clinched the ability to be in these Stanley Cup finals. I think tonight is going to be very different from the nights that we've had previous, and I think this is going to be one that we remember for a long time.
I think that's very certain to say. It's going to be the most lit this city's been in 18 years until Saturday night, of course, as we completely one-up ourselves with that bad boy. You mentioned it, though, and we'll get the photo whenever we can. Did you see Connor McDavid and how he entered Rogers Place, the building tonight? He's not wearing the same suit that he wore for 3 games in a row, 4 games in a row?
5, because I think he wore game 1, and then I don't know if he wore game 2.
Either way, we've switched up the suit tonight, and Connor McDavid, he went all black earthing. As Waz pointed out, he's dressing up for a funeral, hopefully the Florida Panthers funeral. Hard to say when you're down 0-2 in the series, but taking one look at that photo, we'll show it up whenever we can get it. Pat's working hard behind the scenes. Boom, there it is. Dudes. You tell me that this guy isn't scoring the first goal of the game and the game-winning goal tonight? I said to you before, responsibly, of course, 19 plus, please play responsibly. You run to Connor McDavid anytime goal scorer on Betway. Brett, this is the best omen I could possibly ask for.
Yes, it absolutely
Maybe not
is.
the best I could ask for.
Brother, that is Batman.
Is that Bruce Wayne?
Bruce Wayne just saw the goddamn bat signal. It's right over top of Rogers Place right now.
That's what that was.
Yeah, it was weird. Yeah, it wasn't a flyby. It was just the Batmobile. No, it's. I love this. It shows business. It shows we are here for a goddamn reason, and we're here to put you away, baby. I love it.
It's kind of I don't even know what word I want to use. It's just so locked in. There's no time to play. There's no time for color. And I understand we are talking about a man's outfits to an extent, but he looks damn great. Also, Pete, my outfit. Shout out the La Bamba mentalities. You can get them nationgear.ca. These bad boys look good. We got DJ Bean, one of these today, because the job's not finished, people, which is clear, obvious being down 0-2. Go pick those up, nationgear.ca. And while you're there, get a pregame with BORDZY t-shirt as well. Get a Live, Laugh, La Bamba. Get a Rico Suave. Gotta get one of those. I believe so.
I didn't see those.
Well, all right. Maybe I'll let out a secret. Maybe you're going to get one. I don't know what we'd be waiting for. But one thing I want to flip. So we're coming to Edmonton, Alberta. We're flipping the script here. We're flipping the scenes. And it looked like the Florida Panthers had a travel day, not from hell yesterday, because I'm sure, as Paul Maurice pointed out, he said me and the coaches just got to eat really good food for several more hours. Well, I'm curious, the players, do they stay at home until they get the last minute call, or
they were there
as well? So they got to eat as well. They came in, shout out to Elliot Friedman. If you look here, that is in Mountain Time. They came in at 8:17 p.m. last night because, boy, oh boy, you have 2 days for travel. And they probably could have used 3 days for travel because it looked like a tropical storm. There was flash flood warnings galore out there in Florida. And the two teams are geographically further than any Stanley Cup final matchup that has ever been before. At 2,543 miles, Aaron, why would you tell me in miles? 4,092 kilometers. I did the conversion. Math guy right here. Google did it for me. That's a crazy distance. You add in some flash floods, that makes that distance a little bit even harder. Shout out to the air traffic controllers. Did you watch that video? That is some good, clean Canadian humor.
Yeah, no, I like. It's funny because everybody buys in. Then they're just like, yeah, but what if the plane?
Keep circling.
Yeah, maybe you guys have to land in Fort McMurray. I don't know. Yeah, no, it's funny. I love it. It's my favorite part is, again, everybody's getting into it. It's from the air traffic controllers. It's from the guy out at Sobeys. It's this, that, and the other thing. I love it. I love it.
Everybody who drives a truck in this city, you're honking your horns. Yeah. Pat's dad is chilling here right now.
Oh yeah,
he's the most relaxed. Nice to give you a little Shaka Khan, bro. But damn, dude, that's a shitty travel day to have. And I do wonder, how much of a factor that could play in this series. Obviously, Florida, Edmonton, incredibly far away. But get this, Florida has not played a game outside the Eastern time zone since March 12th in Dallas. And prior to that, the last game was Nashville on January 22nd. No taxes, no travel. Yeah, I see why people want to go play in Florida, but with that travel day, the long travel, I did make this joke earlier today. I hope somebody pulled the fire alarm at their hotel building this morning. I may have told some of my buddies to go do that, but I'm curious, how do you think that travel and coming into home ice here in Edmonton will affect the Florida Panthers, and specifically maybe their start? And could the Edmonton Oilers be the ones who come out hot tonight?
I do think so. I think it will affect them. It's always difficult to tell because teams, I mean, these are the two best teams in the NHL. There's a reason why they are in the Stanley Cup final. And from what I've seen recently, game one, the Oilers came out hot, and it was an emotional start to the game. They almost scored right off Bobrovsky's little blooper there. And then game two, it was Florida. I think game three, once again, Edmonton has that little bump. They're back here at home. Everybody's talking about Edmonton. They're down 2-0. I think they're going to get a hot start. For me, the big thing will be being able to punish on that hot start, being able to get an early power play, get an early goal, that type of thing, and keep the crowd into it, so it makes it difficult for the Florida Panthers. But I think honestly, as a city, we should just pull the whole like Southern American soccer fans, where we just stand outside the hotel with pens and fireworks.
I'll do
and
it.
Stuff all night.
I will do it.
We should just do it. Why not?
I don't sleep as is, brother. Who needs sleep? I also laugh at this from Gito. Here comes the delusion take of how Oilers are going to blow out the Cats. You're watching Oilersnation. What are you doing in here, Gito? You've been in here every single episode I've done. Get a life.
Anyways,
or
welcome
just
back to
listen to the delusional takes
Jets Nation.
that you're going to. So there's one. The Oilers, there's no secret. The offense needs to be better. You score one goal through 6 periods. That's not going to win you any games. That's not going to win you playoff games. That's definitely not going to win you Stanley Cup final games. Bobrovsky is good. We know that. It's been well documented how you need to beat this guy, raise the puck up top. We've discussed on the last one. I do not think it's as simple as that, and I want the Oilers to continue to play their game. If you see an opening, you take that opening. Beating Bob, though, it's been incredibly difficult for 13 games in a row now. I'll give you those numbers in just a bit because they be something. But the offense has been the Oilers' biggest strength for as long as I can remember, especially in the McDry era. Obviously, despite not scoring on the power play in the first 2 games, their power play overall in the playoffs is 32.8%. The Oilers can score. They know that they can score. They need to show it. No one ever said it'd be easy. I loved this comment from one Connor McDavid. He said it after game 2. Here's the quote. It is supposed to be hard. It is supposed to be difficult, but I'm excited to see what our group is made of. I'm excited to see our group come together, excited to see us fight through adversity. Brett, adversity has been the name of the game all season long. Can you pull up Jack Michael's tweet as well, Pat? Because we saw this one a couple days ago. This one will get you fired up and jumping out of your skin. As he said, I heard it at 2-9-1. I heard it at 5-12-1. When Vancouver led 1-0, 2-1, and 3-2. When Dallas led 2-1 and 2-0 in Game 4, I can assure you they're not going away now either. Forget the officiating. Do what Florida did. Hold serve at home. Make it best of 3. 18,347 fans ready to roll, Brett. That gets me fired up. Adversity has been the name of the game all season long. We've been back from the dead all season long. No reason to doubt them tonight.
This is a team who went on a 16-game win streak, an 8-game win streak. This is a team who has been able to pull themselves out of the fucking dead here, as one Connor McDavid said, and be able to bring themselves into the final 2 of the NHL. They were sitting 2-9-1, 31st in the league. There is no other really adversity that this team has had to face. Now, Connor wasn't healthy to start off the year. He may not even be 100% healthy now. There has been no reason for you at home, or really any reason given by the Edmonton Oilers, for you to really be worried for them here at down 2-0. It's exactly. Don't
let the boys get hot.
I couldn't read for a second there. I got very concerned. I thought we had to go to the hospital for a second. I was like, hold on, those words.
Brett, raise both arms.
No, this is, and I like another one of the quotes that you have written down. I won't spoil it.
Okay,
I'll
it's
let
right
you
here.
Go to it. Yeah, read it.
So-
Because I like this.
When talking about the Edmonton Oilers power play, it's a matter of time, in my opinion. We've seen this all playoffs long. But Connor McDavid said, quote, "It's just about using instinct. We call it playing road hockey. We've got to be elite at that. We usually solve penalty kills, and I would expect us to figure this one out too." Give me that Connor McDavid road hockey. I think every NHL fan wants to see that. But I love the confidence he has in himself and his group because, dude, they've figured out every penalty kill they can for over the last 5 years. In these playoffs, they were 45% against LA, 30% against Vancouver, 36.3% against Dallas. They're going to figure it out.
Something's got to give. Something's got to give. And the biggest thing for me with Bobrovsky too is that he can't do this for 7 games. Now, you said he's been doing it for 13. Well, okay, 13 plus 7 is 20.
That's more than 13, so you can't do it for 14.
21?
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. He can't, but he can't. So you got to be able to, A, jump on that one game that he's going to be down on, but B, then build off of that one game that he's down on. He's not going to be that good for 7 games, but he's also not going to be that bad for the rest of the series as well. So you have to, when he does get that bad, jump on him early, jump on him often, keep your foot on the gas pedal. And then the following game, when he's probably going to be a little better, go out there and do what you can to try and build off of what you did last time. Because it's not going to work again for all of them. Every game, you just have to make the most of what you got.
I can't help but think when you mentioned it there too in game 1 with that immediate flub of the puck in front of the net and the chance right there, how different my life could be right now. But that's fantasy world. I live in reality.
Yeah,
Brett.
but I wonder if that kind of really zoned him in. He sat there, he hits a bobble in the ice. He's like, oh shit, maybe I wasn't ready for this. Now I gotta,
you gotta lean forward,
put your tits into it, and absolutely put your nose to the grindstone type thing.
I like the first one. Yeah,
no, we're gonna stick with that one. But I do wonder if that, because it's always something little like that, a weird penalty to start it off, a penalty kill to start it off. I wonder how much that really tuned him in, made him sit there and go, oh, I need to wake up.
And I know it's a 2-0 series, but you heard me say it a lot in the last After Dark. The margins for error in these 2 games, in this 120 minutes, has been so slim. A couple bounces this way, maybe a call or 2 that way. But once again, fantasy world, let's join reality. Because in reality, Sergei Bobrovsky, he'd be good. He knows what he's doing. 35 years old. He don't look 35 years old right now. He has only allowed more than 2 goals once in his last 13 hockey games. It is incredible. I do make the argument that he's human, and we'll get into it more details later with the starting goaltender report. Jason Demers said it today as well, and it's what I said, that the recipe is always going to be there. It's pucks on net, it's traffic in front of the net, it is push it, make the goalie's life as difficult as you can. Speaking of that, the one question I have for you, we've seen it all playoffs long with Talbot, Rittich, Shelovs. It was Otter. It was not Ottinger. Which leads me to my question to you, Brett. What do we chant at Sergei Bobrovsky tonight? I presented you some options. You just go, Bobby, Bob. What do you think you'd go with? You're great at chirping.
Well,
you know what to do.
I was going to say, as the professional chirper at U of A hockey games,
Can confirm.
I can answer this question. I would go Sergei. I would go off the board and go Sergei. You need the two.
It has to be 2 syllables.
Sergei. Then it also gets real personal too. You can go Bob. You can go Bobrovsky.
No, I like that.
My nickname in football was Timber. So if anybody called me Timber or Poppy, I'm like, that ain't me.
Dukes is going with Robert.
I like that. It took me a second. But Sergei gets personal. Sergei gets the Sergei is the given name from Sergei's parents. Mm-hmm. Sergei, you're going after Sergei's parents at that point. I'm going Sergei. Yeah.
Let me know in the chat which one you want to go with. I think I agree with you.
Yeah.
I like the personal level of that and go at it. Next question I have for you with the crowd. Every single time Matthew Tkachuk touches the puck, storm of booze, and bruise.
I don't care. Sure, why not?
Yes, I do care because I do want that.
Yes, because it's the opposing team's player. That sounded exactly like the Flames horn. And
that did sound like Flames horn.
That did not. I'm sure they can hear that because I can hear that in the headset. No, see, I do care because it's the Florida Panthers and it's the Stanley Cup final, and you have to make it hard on everybody. Like you saw me when we were driving past. We drove past the Florida Panthers bus on the way here, and my top part of my body was out there booing. Did they see me? Probably not, but it made me feel good. So I think that's what you kind of have to do. Is you kind of just. I'm fine with it if you're going after him for the fact that he's a Florida Panther, but realistically, Matthew Tkachuk did nothing but the turtle as a Calgary Flame. The Oilers ended his Flame career, and then he ran off to Florida as far away as possible. I don't care about Matthew Tkachuk.
We've heard a couple rumors about who might be showing up downtown here at Greta tonight, and it's one man that we've told the fans would be on a couple of these shows before. Has never shown up. I'll let you guess it. He has a very good history with one Matthew Tkachuk and turtling. Yeah. Maybe we can pick his brain later tonight about what it's like to play against Matthew Tkachuk. I bet he's going to say, boo his ass every single chance you can get it. 1 point continuing with the offense. That's been my biggest glaring issue right now with this team so far through 2 games. And it's the depth scoring. It's what carried this team in the Western Conference Finals against the Dallas Stars. We all heard about it, how much more depth in the forward group that Dallas had. They had 8 20-plus goal scorers. But what happened in that series? You saw the Edmonton Oilers, bottom 6, top, so I guess whatever, second line. You saw everybody get involved and score some goals. And that is what makes them from a good team to an elite team and has kind of carried them all the way to the Stanley Cup Finals. Yes, we love McDavid and Draisaitl. We love our Bush. We love our Hymans. We love our Nuges. But this year as a whole, kind of even more so, was finding those other guys. You had Warren Foegele scores 20. You have Adam Henrique step in. You bring in your Corey Perry's. Hyman scores 50 while Nuge didn't score a bunch. He's still doing his thing. The involvement of Ekholm offensively. You've seen all of that. And they've gone further than they ever have before. But right now, through 2 games, it's a completely different story. They got 6 combined shots from forwards in game 2. Meanwhile, the Florida Panthers, they have 4 players averaging at least 1 point per game. Evan Rodriguez, Sam Bennett, Barkov, Lundell. They have 12 players with at least 1 point, and every top 9 forward except Matthew Tkachuk has 1 point so far. That's been the difference right now. It's Erod killing him. He has 3 goals in the series, while the Edmonton Oilers haven't been able to find the back of the net. You're going to need some of those depth guys to step up tonight.
Yes, but also the Stars need to, too.
Yep, that's a matter of time for me.
Sure, but Matthias Ekholm is the only guy with a goal for the Edmonton Oilers in this series. Connor McDavid doesn't, Leon Draisaitl doesn't, Zach Hyman doesn't, Evan Bouchard doesn't, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins doesn't. It is Matthias Ekholm. So we can talk about the depth for sure, needing to step up. I'm okay with that, but the Stars need to as well.
But you know what I agree? Do you not agree when I say that is what's carried them to this point? You know, Connor and Leon, just the depth is what's made them. That's the difference of getting to the second round to the third round where we've recently gone. And we didn't have that. Now in the Dallas series, that is what got us to this point. And I'm just confident that Connor and Leon and those guys will figure it out. I got to look at some of these bottom 6 guys and see what we can get rolling. And it ain't going to be easy tonight because the lineup, we got a couple questions in there. Let's start at the top because Nobby said it's wait and see time. And boy, oh boy, there's a lot to speculate on. So Pat, Daniel Nugent-Bowman, shout out to him. He did the best possible job of explaining what we're going to be looking at this evening. So if you look right here, your first note is Corey Perry is expected in the lineup. Sam Carrick was on the ice late, burning his game day leg, so you would expect him to likely be out. We saw Cody Ceci off the ice early, which tends to mean he's going to be back in the lineup, but once again, who knows? Sounds like Philip Broberg and your boy Vincent Desharnais are going to be in the lineup. If Darnell Nurse plays, they could be going 11-7. Kane's status is unclear, but he's the most or least likely to play if they do go 11-7. Flip it over the next one. Derek Ryan is likely in for Carrick if they go 12-6. And in a lineup with 11 forwards and Perry in, he believes 3 forwards from game 2 have to come out. Carrick 2 more. That one, we'll see. That one's hard to speculate at. I love his final point. Clear as mud. What part of that wasn't complicated? So let's break it down here. And let's start with Evander Kane because I mentioned it to you before the show. I feel like we're kind of at a crossroads here with Evander Kane of teetering your ability to be effective and wanting to play between being a detriment to your team and simply not being able to go. We saw in game 2, he only played 10 minutes of total ice time in that game. He only played 15 something in game 1. He looks slower. He looks like he's in pain. He looks uncomfortable, and he doesn't look like he has that gumption, whatever word you want to use, that physicality that he always does, that angry badassery that he has. And I'd argue if he's not being physical and he can't do those things along the forecheck, how much of a use are you to me? Really? We know he's been injured with we believe it's a sports hernia. It looks like it's getting worse and worse. I could only imagine playing through that for 2 months of not just regular hockey, Stanley Cup playoff hockey. So what do you think about Evander Kane? What do you think of his play lately? And where do you kind of come out? Do you kind of agree when I say he's teetering that line of hurting your team, or I don't know?
He's been very ineffective. And while I appreciate him wanting to play through it and wanting to be there for the team, I mean, that even goes back to him getting hurt in that game 6 and just staying on the bench and opening the doors for the guys, opening the gates and being a part of it. And I admire that.
Team guy.
Really,
but you don't think you'd see a lot from Kaner, so I love that.
No, yes, 100%. I think that's what really put it over for me was the fact that it was Kaner. He wasn't going, oh, well, I'm not playing like he was earlier this year. He's going, oh, I'm playing 4 minutes, whatever. It doesn't really matter. He's out there. He doesn't care if he's playing 4 minutes. He's right there in it. I'm fine with him being out of the lineup because I think he drags the rest of his line down. If you're just out of position, you're trying to lay a lazy hit, and now you're out of position. Now it's an odd man rush.
And he's not the fastest skater, not the quickest back checker, not the greatest defender.
Open ice at all. You're not getting open for your teammates. You're not going into the corners because you're scared of getting hurt. It's sad because I think he had been doing a lot of really good things at a limited area, but I think it's just time to kind of move on.
Question for you from Final Buzzer. Realistically, would Kane be any worse than Perry? Fair point.
Yes. Yeah,
he would be. I think he would be.
I'm a big Perry guy. You saw last game, so I want to see. I think Perry would have been better in there than Fogle, but that's a different conversation, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess it doesn't actually matter what we think. But thank you for watching and listening as we get geared up for Game 3 of the Stanley Cup Finals. So the other guy, the big news, it's Darnell Nurse. We saw him take that hit in game 2 along the corner boards in the Oilers' own end. You saw him immediately grab for his hip, hunch over, looked like he was in a severe amount of pain. We know he's dealt with hip injuries before, and that's another one, right, where I get worried. How hurt are you? Are you hurt or are you injured? Can you continue to go? And your hips, being a defenseman, he's going to be in that exact position a million times. I'd also argue the Florida Panthers are a smart greaseball team, whatever you want to do. They know that hip is hurt. They're going to attack that. They're going to go right at that bone. Absolutely. So my question is, would you consider going 11-7 tonight with that? I think I would. I'm not a huge fan of 11-7, especially this season. They haven't done it a lot with Nobby. But the point I made to you, Nobby may not have done 11-7 a whole lot, but pretty much everyone on this team has had a wealth of experience playing 11-7. They've been here for the last several years. We all know Jay Woodcroft loved to do it. I don't know. Where do you come out on that? Would you consider it? Would you do it? It also means more Connor McDavid and more Leon Draisaitl.
Yes, I would go 11-7. I think it's safe, but this team has done it before. A lot of the guys on the team, if not all of them, have done it before. So I'm fine with them going 11-7 at any point because the guys that are going to be playing extra are going to be Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl. You plug them on any line, it doesn't matter who's next to them. They're going to get something done, especially in the playoffs, and especially with the team that they have constructed right now. If you're able to, are they probably going to play 28, 30 minutes in that sense? Yeah, probably. But this is a playoffs. That right now, if you don't win these next 2 games, there's no games after this anymore. So you can take a break then. If you win, well, hell, you got 3-4 more games.
He's wearing a black suit. He's ready to go.
Yeah, he's ready to go. So,
do we got him?
Yeah, we do. Oh,
we'll get him in a couple minutes.
Yeah.
We see him live and in the flesh.
Yeah.
Heat Daddy is down here at Greta Baryeg. That looked like everything I expected.
That was unbelievable. What he's wearing right now is awesome.
Everything I expected and more. Pretty sure he had a dart hanging out of his mouth as well right there. Yeah, Pat said as well. So maybe he's going out for a dart first, and then we'll get him to join us at the end of the show. Let's get into our need to know info courtesy of Willock Beef Jerky, because only the finest tasting meat products earn that sweet, sweet Willock name. Made from 100% pure Alberta beef, their jerky is aged, seasoned, marinated, and smoked to savory perfection. They gladly fill orders of any size. You can find their jerky, sausage, and other products exclusively out of their Leduc, Spruce Grove, and their West Edmonton Mall kiosk locations. All right. So between the big five of the Edmonton Oilers, you know, they all play on the power play. So far, they have no goals, and they have a combined 2 assists. Bob has only been beaten once so far in the series. Shout out to Matthias Ekholm, sending one right at the balls, brother. That's you want to go low, you want to go high? No, go right dick level, and you see what's going to happen with that. Plenty of lineup decisions to be made, so keep it locked here. We'll let you know as quickly as we can live on Twitter. That's it for the Oilers. Stuart Skinner obviously going to get the start tonight. He has a 2.63 goals against in this series. He's got an 886 save percentage, so maybe you want that to be a little bit better. But 2.63, dude, I will take that. He's been overly quiet in this series, but he's been good in this series. The one thing, you might actually need more than good so far to beat one Sergei Bobrovsky.
Yeah, 100%. This has nothing to do with the way that the Oilers have played with Stuart Skinner. I have no problem with the way Stuart Skinner has played. In fact, I think it probably would have been worse in game 2 if it wasn't for Stuart Skinner. And I've said this all throughout the playoffs after his tough game, a couple of tough games. He has given us no reason to not think that he'd be able to show up in this type of situation. Last year, sure, it wasn't fantastic. This year, and all throughout the regular season, through the tough start, through the 16-game win streak, everything, he has given us reason to believe in him. And Game 3 of the Stanley Cup Finals, when you are down 0-2, there is no better time to sit there and trust your goalie who has done nothing but make you trust him and believe in him than right now. So I trust him and believe in him.
And on home ice, I believe in everything more. I think we've seen it all season. The power play's better, the record's better, Stuart Skinner's better. Everything goes down smoother with some home cooking and sleeping in your own bed, which is kind of ironic with Stuart Skinner because his child is here. You probably don't get as much sleep as you would like. For the Florida Panthers side of things, need to know Alex Barkov was a full participant at practice this morning, and Paul Maurice said him and Vladimir Tarasenko are good to go. Barkov left game 2 after a hit to the head from Leon Draisaitl. One note, McDavid, Dry, Henrik are combined 39.5% in the faceoff dot, while Florida's top 3 of Barkov, Lundell, Stenlund, they're combined 59.4% in the draws. That's an area the Edmonton Oilers are absolutely going to need to clean up. And then it's Sergei Bobrovsky, 13-5 these playoffs, 208 goals against in general now in these playoffs, and a 915 save percentage. It's going to be tough to beat that guy, and that's why we need the Edmonton faithful Sergei. Nice.
Yeah.
Thanks, bro. Let's go. Give us tickets. We'll take your tickets. Let's move right now to the Sherwood Ford Giant storyline, brought to you by Sherwood Ford, the Giant for a reason, home of the Giant Advantage and Dealer Raiders Alberta Ford Store of the Year Award for customer satisfaction. With a giant selection of new and used vehicles, it's the best place to find new and used vehicles, service them, and there you can find a giant deal and a giant array of services and parts too. Whether you prefer shopping online or in store, they tailor the shopping experience to you from people who really care. We're just doing some behind the scenes here because, as you might be able to tell, who's on your screen right now, it's Heat Daddy, baby. It is a pleasure to meet you formally.
Fellas, likewise.
Pleasure.
Dude, I'm thrilled to have you here. The boys from Hockey Night in Scottsdale. Let me ask you the first question. First time in Edmonton?
Yes.
Thoughts so far?
First time. Listen, if anyone
Bring that in
ever...
a little closer for you.
Okay, my bad. If anyone ever chirps Edmonton weather, you don't know what you're talking about. It's constantly sunny and 75. All that stuff about how it's cold. It's a rumor. The ice, the snow. It's a big fugazi. It's beautiful out. The people are amazing. The waitresses are sneaky hot.
Come on down to Greta, people.
Yeah, I'm actually a free agent right now, so I'm allowed to say that.
Me too.
Attaboy. And I don't know about you, but hey,
Sorry.
it's all good. It's all good. Everything plays. But yeah, no, it's been great. It's been really fun, man. I'm looking forward to tonight. I'm sure it'll be a party. They need the win, though.
Dude, they need it, and that's why we need you. I've been down here every single road game throughout these playoffs. We're doing every single Stanley Cup Finals game here. I've been the hype man here in this crowd. I'm excited to see what you bring here. I'm going to be your biggest fan all night. I'm going to be screaming behind you all go. You got to throw me a t-shirt as well. One factor coming into tonight, it's the home ice advantage.
Yes.
And we need it, and we need it bad right now. And you know the Edmonton faithful is going to bring it and bring it hard tonight. It's been 18 years since we've hosted a Stanley Cup final game. I need them to be the seventh man, maybe you will, I guess, in hockey terms, the 12th man in Seattle. What do you think the crowd is going to bring, and how much of a factor will they play? Also, to start the game.
Yeah, I'm from New York, and I'm not trying to fake it like I'm an Oilers diehard my whole life. However, I do love the Oilers. I've been loyal to the Oil, except last year. I just want to make a disclaimer. One of my really, really good friends is on the Knights, so I was in a rock and a hard place there.
No, that's
but
fair.
I would honestly say that just through being around the league, being at different buildings, I've never been here. The Oilers fan base is by far, in my opinion, one of the best, if not the best fan bases in sports. And I think, look, Florida has a rowdy building, and I think that not a lot of people give Florida's building credit, but this building, I think it's going to be 10 times more electric. I think the boys are going to get up for this one. Saul Bobrovsky, get that first one, and I think if they get that first one, I'm not a doctor here, I'm not an expert, I played a horrendous level of hockey, but if they get that first one, that crowd's going to be all over them.
That makes three of us, so we can all be at the same skill level of hockey. One question I had, you heard all the travel stuff, was it easy for you to get into Edmonton?
No.
Yeah,
Oh,
was it
really?
faster for you too?
Yeah, it was pretty hard. It wasn't that bad, right? It was just a couple connecting flights. It wasn't too bad, but yeah, I guess there was some weather at play. I stopped in the Thai Royal Massage in Calgary and missed my flight.
Good massage.
But yeah, all rub, no tug, just going on the record. That's illegal. I would never do that. Yeah, it was a fun time getting up here regardless.
Shout out them. Shout out that massage parlor as well. So the one aspect, is it overblown that with that much travel, you get in late, you're going to maybe not have as much practice time, you're going to be in the different building. Do you think the Oilers can get out with a really, really tough start? They're going to be firing shot out of a cannon. You know the crowd's going to bring it. Do you think there's a factor of maybe fatigue from Florida in that sense, or am I making mountains out of molehills?
No, I think once they hear that crowd, honestly, the second they step on the sheet in warm-ups, I think it's going to be a wake-up call. It's just going to be like doing something. I'll say doing coffee. It's just like drinking your first coffee. You kind of get up for that. No, I think all that stuff's going to go out the window. Mind over matter. I think there's no question they're going to get up for this game here.
Brett, you got any questions for him? I got more of you.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, what has been your favorite thing you saw just through social media around the Edmonton Oilers? And I don't want the obvious one.
You don't want the
Well,
obvious.
that's two things. That's two things.
Yeah, that's true. I just said one.
The obvious too. Yeah, hell of a no. You know what? I gotta say, the woman who dresses up as the Stanley Cup.
Yeah,
she's great.
I think just such a beauty, just like the passion. Like you can't find that passion in a lot of places. Like if you go to a game in Los Angeles, everyone's just more focused on their spray tan rather than the game, which makes no sense. You can already get tan in California. I don't know why all you have spray tans, but yeah, I'd say the Stanley Cup woman in general. And honestly, this is going to be a vague answer, but just the people, man. The people. I think Gary Bettman, he's trying to stop the Stanley Cup from getting to Arizona. I don't want to trash talk Gary. I'm sure he's a great guy. I don't know him, but he's trying to stop the cup from getting up north, and I think the people are leading the way for that. But yeah, I think the one thing I've noticed is just the people, the fans, man.
Did you see her everybody lifting her up at Game 6?
No,
Oh, yeah, they were lifting
She's
her
in the
up.
crowd.
No
Yeah.
way.
She's in the crowd.
No, that's unreal.
Yeah.
That's how you know you want the cup.
You got Banjo Guy, who's just
Yes,
the most
face
face
paint.
paint you've ever seen. You've got Superfan, McCoo.
Yeah.
You've got everybody along these streets. It's been incredible.
McMullet. can't
McMullet.
forget
Back to
McMullet.
the ice here, because we saw it in game 2 with the Oil. They played a little dirty. They got a little frustrated at the end of the game, clearly by Sam Carrick, a little whooping. How's she doing? Right in the balls. That fine, a little bit justified, but it looked like clear frustration from the Edmonton Oilers. I didn't think the dry hit was anything worse than suspension. He's not a dirty player. I don't think Fogle intended to do the knee, but hey, it is what it is. There was knees on both sides, but you saw the Edmonton Oilers get frustrated. My question to you is that something they should stay away from? Because that is clearly Florida's game and hasn't really been Edmonton's all season long. They are tough. They have some sandpaper. That's not their MO. We saw in the LA series, they allowed LA to do dumb shit after the whistles, take a couple punches to the face, and said, okay, we're going to go mess you up on the power play. Do you think that's something we got to continue to try and hone in tonight on home ice? The Oilers' power play is considerably better on home ice, and I just worry that they're getting sucked into Florida's game.
Yeah, because, Florida's game, it's a lot of grit. It's a lot of that FU hockey mentality. And I think that's what Florida specializes in, right? And I think for Edmonton, stick to the finesse game. Stick to being the skilled team that you are. You have a solid bottom six. Let there's a kid in my high school named Sam Hyman, and I always say Sam Hyman instead of Zach Hyman. But yeah, stick to your game. Don't get involved in that, because no disrespect to the Oilers. After the whistle, Florida's all about that. So why play their game like you said? But yeah, I think they need to stick to capitalizing on power play opportunities. Stick to that speed through the neutral zone with McDavid and all that. Like that, I mean, it's something that play your game, right? Just like you said, play your game. I agree with you.
It's the skill. It's use your feet, use your speed. Speed kills, in my opinion.
Yeah. I was curious what you thought about, just going back to what you said about the Warren Fogle hit. What do you think about the Fogle knee? Was it a 5, do you think, or was that a 2?
No, I think people don't realize how fast the game's going on, right? And I think when you slow it down, people think, oh, he stuck out a knee. The bottom line is these guys are competing. They're doing anything they can. I think if you think that's bad, you should see what happens off the screen. I think a lot of the times when you have that angle and you're watching on TV, you actually don't really know what's going on in terms of what's dirty and what's not. It's like in the NFL at the bottom of the pile, you don't know what's going on between those lines.
Fingers are going places. It's
the guys are they're jabbing each other's eyes. Some guys are trying to kiss each other. Like, it's bad down there.
That's what we're doing.
It's a bold decision. It works. It works.
Why do you think I'm on this show?
But no, I thought it was just a quick play where he's trying to stop a opposing player from gaining speed and getting momentum in his own zone. I don't think it was anything to freak out about, to be honest.
Yeah.
Okay, Heat Daddy, I got to let you go in a couple minutes. Do your thing. We got the manager watching us like a hawk. Shout out, Phil. Absolute stud. You're going to have a great time here tonight. I want you to give me one depth guy for the Oilers that you want to see step up a little bit more offensively, because so far, sure, you need your big dogs to score goals, which we haven't done. We have 1 goal through 6 periods, but Florida's big dogs haven't really done that as well. They've gotten depth goals from Mikkola, 3 from Erod. Who do you think from the Oilers tonight do you want to see give a little bit more?
Yeah, I don't know, man. Can I say a defenseman?
Yeah,
who they just subbed in for CC?
Robert? Say her name.
I was going to say Broberg. Yeah. I think Broberg is a really good player. I think people are starting to wake up. I think they're starting to wake up, and I would love to see, and I know, like, immediately I was thinking, like, physicality-wise, but I want Broberg to make a big play no matter what it is. If it's a good pass, if it's a block shot to a good, breakout, whatever it is, something that gets the boys going. I'd like to see Broberg take that next step to wake more people up, because I know you guys know the guy is a player.
Yep.
But yeah, I'd like to see something crazy out of Broberg. I know it's a little random.
Yeah, I like that. Who do you think has to step up?
I would say Warren Fogle, but the ship has absolutely sailed for me on Warren Fogle. I thought the first 2 games were absolute dog water. I want to see Corey Perry. Perry.
That's a great one. You said depth player. Sorry to interrupt. Okay.
No, depth. That works for
That's Robert.
I always think bottom 6. But
that works. I just think Corey Perry's experience and everything that he's been able to accomplish in his career and kind of pushing that towards this team. We saw it when McLeod scored that first goal when they were down 2-1 against the Stars. He stood there and went, "Let's go, boys. We're not fucking dead yet." And that's what they ended up winning that game. I think he can kind of insert something like that for the Oilers.
Yeah, that'd be good.
My answer is Warren Fogle. It's crazy. You go from 20 goals to 1 goal. It's just absolutely batshit nuts. Heat Daddy, we love you. We appreciate you. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, boys, thank you so much.
Are you going to be here for this game, or are you going to be here for the whole homestand?
I'm supposed to go home Friday, but we'll see. I mean, one too many.
If we win tonight,
yeah, if you win tonight, if we win tonight, I'm going to be a part of that. If everyone here wins tonight, we'll see. I've never been afraid to cancel a flight.
That's my guy right there. Shout out Heat Daddy. Let's get into now the playoff report, brought to you by Boston Pizza, because our playoff coverage is brought to you by BP's. It's been 30 years since Canadian team has won the Stanley Cup. And what would it take for Canadian hockey fans to set aside their differences and work together to end this drought? Is it their team or nothing? Or could they get behind a rival under the right circumstances? BP's wants you to team up for the win. Pat? That was incredible. He's everything I want him to be. Heat Daddy's an absolute stud. I can't wait to crush beers with you in approximately 20 minutes. We've got our boy Brett Holden coming back on, but Pat, that was electric.
Man, it's so good. It's one of those things like
that is his Twitter personality.
Yeah, exactly. You never know. It's like don't be your heroes, but when you do, and it turns out like that, it's one of those moments. That was special.
That was special. So shout out BP's team up for the win. There's only one Canadian team left to team up for. So come and hop on that bandwagon, people. What was one other thing? Oh, I had mentioned Kane not taking warm-ups. Darnell Nurse is on the ice. So we could take and expect. Can you pull up what we had from Zach Lang earlier today? Shout out to the Oilers Nation boys because they are credentialed and they are down, boots on the ground to Rogers Place. This is what Zach had tweeted from earlier today, and he expects this to be the lineup tonight, which would mean 12-6. I do not see one Cody Ceci there. It's Nuge, McDavid, Hyman, McLeod, Draisaitl, Holloway, Janmark, Henrique, Brown, Fogle, Derek Ryan, and Corey Perry, Decor, Ekholm Bush, Nerves Finney, Kulak Broberg, and of course, Stuart Skinner. We're running out of time here to go. One thing I got for you, that third line of Rico, Janmark, and Connor Brown, I have high expectations for those guys. It doesn't matter who's playing with Brownie and Janmark. Brownmark just makes it work. Yeah. And if you're going to give me Adam Henrique, Rico, a playoff-proven, savvy veteran guy like that, I love that trio.
Yes, 100%. It's a couple guys who are able to play the game at a high speed. Adam Henrique is a very, very smart player. Putting him in between the two of those guys as well, I love every second of it. It adds another element for the Edmonton Oilers when 29-97 are.
Yep, that's true. So by looking at that, you could expect some 12-6. Yep, there it is from Jack Michaels 43 seconds ago. And wouldn't you know it? Whoa. RNH, McDavid, Hyman. Second line, Ryan McLeod, Leon Draisaitl. The worm, Corey Perry, is back in the top six. I've learned my lesson. The last time I saw exactly that trio on the second line, I sat here and said, I don't believe in it. They went out after allowing 2 goals against.
Yep.
Went out and scored a beauty of a third goal completely off effort. In Nobby we trust, baby. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. You're a Corey Perry guy, so you got to like what you're seeing right here.
I'm a big fan of that. Again, it kind of similar to what we were talking about with Henrique playing with Janmark and Brown. Henrique's experience. Perry has 4 times the experience that Henrique has in the playoffs. So being able to, again, Draisaitl, who's been kind of struggling in Draisaitl terms, and Ryan McLeod, who has also kind of been back and forth during these playoffs. Put a guy like him, again, Perry's then playing against the second best player in the world. They're all going to build off each other. I really like this. I'm really.
Rusty agrees. That second line is great. I'm in. Bob Stafford thinks that's great as well. I like Davin says they're going to play so fast without Kane. They'll look like a new team. Well, maybe not that line with Corey Perry, but no. I like what you got. Shout out, Pat. He brought up the graphic right here to get a visual of it. So your bottom 6, their third line stays the same, and then it's Dylan Holloway with Derek Ryan and Warren Fogle. That line can score a goal. Yeah. That line scores a goal that is going to be an absolute beauty of a trio.
Playoff type goal.
That's going to be a playoff type goal, but we got to move along here. Shout out Dukes. He says, I am so ready. Dukes, come back to Edmonton.
Yes.
Just move here already.
Please.
Just come on out. Mike. You like that? Did I do that right? I do that right?
I didn't even know what you said for a second.
Is that offensive? No, it's good. All right, let's get in the starting goaltender report. Brought to you by Shirt Power Sports and Marine. The boys were down in Shirt Park today, Tyler and Liam. They started the show with goggles on and a dirt bike helmet on, and I had to let the lead play for an extra 20 seconds because you could see Jay getting his ears stuck in the helmet. Be like, no, because they're trying to take it off before they come back. It's a beautiful thing. You can get those awesome accessories, and basically whatever fun toy you can think of will be down at Shirt Power Sports Marine, from fishing rods and reels, tackle and boat accessories, to motorcycle gear, water sports accessories, and e-bikes. Let's pull it up here, Pat. The tail of the tape this series so far between these two goaltenders, because Stuart Skinner, he's been a different man since he returned from the bench. It's 263 and an 886. You can be box score hunters all you want. A .50 with a 980. Holy shit, one Sergei Bobrovsky. That looks pretty good. But Stu, he's settled in. He's calmed down since he's been here. He has been good enough, I do think. The point I made earlier.
There's no Desharnais.
It's Kulak C. Oh my God, we didn't even go there.
Kulak Cece. No Desharnais.
What the?
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Paul, what do you think? What's your instant reaction to that?
I don't like it. I think we talked about
That's not the
this.
guy I would have taken out.
No, I think he played quite well defensively in his own end. He was able to kill cycles, and he played really well on the PK too. I'm not a big fan of it.
I like that other people. We noticed some other people. Wait, Vinny is out. Reading is tough, people, as we all know that by now. I would have kept Vinny in there, man. I
Yeah,
thought since he's been back in, he's been everything you wanted. And the part I've mentioned on pregaming, I'm worried about his ability to handle the puck. Vinny's been more than serviceable so far in these games he's played.
So let's put in Cody Cece. Yeah, that makes sense. It's not game 7, boys.
Hey, he has a little bit more offensive puck carrying touch. Yeah, I don't know. Let me know in the chat how you feel about that one. I like Nurse Broberg.
Yeah,
I really like that.
I'm behind that.
Oh, Rusty says it as well. They're an interesting pair. Broberg is proving he's good enough. Is that your top 4 next season? Who knows? We're not done with this season yet. That's off-season talk, and we can deal with that one a little bit better, or a little bit later, sorry. But one point I want to make with Stuart Skinner, he started these playoffs as the Oiler with the most pressure on them. I'd argue right now in the Stanley Cup final, he is not the Oiler with the most pressure on them. He's done his job and then some. Yes, are you going to maybe need to see him steal a game if they're going to have to find a way to beat Bobrovsky? But Stu, I got no complaints.
Yeah, I don't think that 8.96 save percentage tells the entire story. I don't think it.
They never do.
No, and I think it's unfriendly to him. I think he's played much better than that 8.96 suggests. And the big thing for him is that he's making the big save. He's making those breakaway saves.
Yep.
He's making those post-to-post saves, which have been exactly what you want to see too. Most of the goals that you're seeing have been off of giveaways.
Rodrigue right in the front of the net.
Exactly. So there's only so much that a goaltender can do in those types of situations. You got to make sure you're making the save that you're supposed to make. And earlier in these playoffs, he wasn't doing that. I almost called him Cam Talbot. Stuart Skinner wasn't doing that. But yeah, that's probably why. But now, after he's been benched, he's been able to make that save that he needs to make.
Sergei Bobrovsky, he's been unreal. The secret, or at least we're told, is raising the puck up high. Matthias Ekholm said, fuck that. I'm going to blast this one right at your nuts. And it worked, baby. And you got to looking off Leon Draisaitl on a 2-on-1. I mentioned he's human. How do you beat him? Pucks on net, traffic in front. You need to make life difficult. And I thought in game 2, just simply not enough shots, not enough rubber on Sergei Bobrovsky. They had 19 shots in game 2. They had 30-something in game 1. You can't score if you don't shoot, so you're going to need to throw a lot at him. I don't know if it's quality or quantity right now at this point. I'm willing to try either option.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I don't know.
I think it's quality with traffic in front, or quantity with traffic in front is my personal strategy.
Yeah, I completely agree. But the big thing, again, I keep going back to this, is everybody loves to yell shoot. Everybody loves to go shoot. Everyone goes shoot, 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 shoot. And you shoot the puck into a crowded area and it bounces back out of the zone. And everyone goes, well, why would you shoot that? So I don't think there's going to be much pleasing anybody unless that shot clock is up above 35. So I want quantity and quality, if that makes sense.
So we're getting greedy now. Hell yeah, we can do it. We're in the Stanley Cup Finals for a reason. This Oilers defense, I just say, keep doing what you've been doing all season long. You're going to beat this man eventually. Let's move along now. Doug Waite, that's a peek at the Oilers lineup. Cody Cece back in, Vinny out, Corey Perry, top 6, Dylan Holloway, 4th line. Those are kind of your Coles notes, your Cliff notes for that one. Let's get into the Florida lineup report, brought to you by Greta Baryag. We got to do this a little bit quickly. But Greta, Brett, it's the spot to watch a game in Edmonton. And if you're not here right now, you are absolutely missing out. We got Heat Daddy, and as I mentioned, a number of former NHLers going to be coming on down here. And buddy, it's Celebrity Row in Edmonton right now. So you know they're coming down to 109th. Where else would you rather be? Arcade, bar, street food. I'm going to take Heat Daddy on in a game of skee ball right now. Because that guy looks like I bet he's an athlete. I bet he can kick my ass.
Oh, yeah,
maybe Mario Kart. Nice. He can toss some balls. Top line projected for the Florida Panthers. Erod with Alex Barkov and Sam Reinhart. Then it's Carter Verhaeghe with Sam Bennett and the Turtle. Then it's E2 Lusterine and Mr. Roll Around on the ice and come back 60 seconds later and look totally. Oh, excellent reference, though. That's an excellent reference.
Thank you.
Centering that third line is Anton Lundell and Vladimir Tarasenko on the wing. Fourth line, Steven Lorentz, Kevin Stenlin, and Nick Cousins. Look out, people. You know what that greaseball is going to be doing
That's
tonight.
why Vinny needs to
Top
play.
D pair, Gustav Forsling with Aaron Ekblad, Nico Mikula with Brandon Montour, and Oliver Lawson Tossum, as Don Cherry says, with Dmitry Kulikov. Nick Cousins, buckle up.
I like that.
I want Vinny in now.
And that's exactly what I just joked. I think Vinny would be exactly because Carrick's out too. Who's going to go out? You're going to put Perry against him? Like,
Maybe that tells me what I mentioned earlier with Heat Daddy. You just got to let the Panthers after us. So you just got to take some punches.
Yeah,
You might just have to take a couple slashes. And the Oilers gave out their fair share in the last game. So, hey, maybe it's their turn. I mentioned earlier, Matthew Tkachuk, he's going to be public enemy number 1. It's been weird so far in the series how, I'm not going to say invisible because he has been invisible, how much of a non-factor. Nice. That was very PC of me to say that. How much of a non-factor he has been so far in the series. I expect him to be much bigger threat, be more physical. The image last game of Connor and him behind the net, chirping the fuck out of each other, going at it. I was like, I miss that so much. You can tell genuine hatred between some of these guys with Matthew Tkachuk. What have you thought of him so far?
Invisible, because genuinely sometimes I remember game 1, I sat there and went, did Tkachuk play? So, and that's exactly what you want. I'm not sure if there's anything ailing him. Don't want to be speculatory or anything like that, but he's been neutralized. He hasn't been done anything. He did more in the 4-1 Calgary win than he has done in 2 games in the Stanley Cup final. It's perfect. Let him be quiet. That's perfect. Don't poke the bear. Let him. I mentioned during the last game, we saw him in the first period. There's a little scrum starting, and he just went right off the ice. He was like, "Oh, I don't want to be a part of this." Yeah, exactly.
What's that, Master Disguise? Yeah, Master Disguise. Great throwback movie.
Disguise. Yeah, no, I'm not worried about Tkachuk.
Let me know if you've seen that movie.
Yeah, 2 people. Now that I said that, I'm sure he's going to bite us in the ass.
Absolutely. I mentioned Panthers got plenty of depth scoring. It's been Evan Rodriguez. He's going to be on the top line tonight for those Florida Panthers. So is that technically depth scoring at that point? No, it still is with that guy. It was hopefully no Evan to Evan connection again. And Bouchard does not put a puck on his goddamn tape on the side of the net. Bouchard, we love you. We did mention it's probably the shittiest game I've seen Bouch play.
Yeah.
As you mentioned, in 2024, I expect him to be a little bit better tonight. It's already pretty much game time, so we got to quickly do Bordsy's bankroll and get it in here because we got sidetracked. We got Heat Daddy. Shout out Betway. With Betway, you can get a free bet up to $200 if your first bet loses. All you got to do, create a new account, join the action by scanning that QR code on your screen right now. And if you do so, and your first bet loses, knock on wood, you get a free refund up to $200. You can then use that money to bet on your favorite sports. This offer is only available outside of Ontario. I just did that ad read word for word, straight off the dome, and I didn't fuck a single thing up. Attaboy, Bordsy, way to go. All right, let's pull it up. Bordsy's bankroll, your choices this evening. Your first one, Edmonton money line, and number 29, 1+ point. That currently sits at +110. I believe the Oilers were like -120, -130 favorites coming into this. I've seen it move a little bit. The power play has to break through tonight, and if they're going to do it, it's going to come from the top of the blue line and where Evan Bouchard will be quarterbacking. I mentioned I want quantity and I want traffic in front. I expect Bouch to get back on the score sheet, hopefully with a power play point. +140, extra juiced. I like that. For how many points Bouch gets, the vast majority of them are all on the power play. To give me +140, I love it. Your final one, number 97, anytime goal scorer, +125. He's wearing all black to the game tonight. He's scoring 6 goals. I'm just giving you one. Oh, my God, Pat got the video. And it's in slow motion. Are you shitting me right now?
Oh, my God.
All right, Brett, take it over. Which one of those bets do you like? Because I am losing my composure.
I don't know if I can take it over. I think something just happened in my pants.
Oh, God, no.
Can I pick all 3?
You can. I already bet all 3 responsibly. 19+. Please play responsibly.
I'm parlaying all 3. All 3. I think it's going to be a Connor power play goal, a Bouch assist.
And a dry assist.
You know
right
why
you
not?
all at once.
No, I'm going.
We're getting greedy.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I still think all 3 and the money line. Yeah, easy. Cash.
Pat, put it in our chat. I don't have the YouTube bubble. Can you let me know what is leading right now? But people, it is about to be game time. It's officially 6:01. We're watching the intro video right now on Sportsnet. Shout out Sportsnet. Buckle up, baby, because this one is about to get wild. I see Pat just let me know. 52% believes in a Connor anytime goal, as you should, people. He's dressed to impress. Big shout out to everybody in the chat. I love you. Throw down your like. We're at rookie numbers right now. We're going to bump those bad boys up. If you're not already downtown, get to Gretel right now, because when the Edmonton Oilers win that hockey game, you're going to want to get down here because it is going to be packed. It is going to be a scene. It's Thursday night. I call that Friday Junior. You can just call in sick tomorrow. I think your boss will understand. I bet your boss will give me hungover tomorrow as well. I want to give a big shout out to you, Brett Holden, for holding it down with me tonight. Patrick Puff, you're behind the scenes as well. It's going to be us three all night long. Oilersnation After Dark coming at you live right here from Greta Bar Yeg. Hopefully breaking down an Edmonton Oilers victory, because this is can't win or can't lose territory. This is a must win. This is can't lose, whatever you want. This is back against the wall time. What do you do when your back's against the wall? You usually come out punching. Big shout out to Sherwood Ford, the Giant, Sherwood Power Sports Marine, Greta Bar Yeg, Betway, Boston Pizza, Fountain Tire, Willock Beef Jerky. There's 7 of them, and I love them all equally. You guys are the best. Also, go check out nationgear.ca. Good luck, everybody. We'll catch you right here on the ON YouTube after the game. Hopefully you see me with a smile on my face the next time you see me. I love you all.